Hey, welcome back, everybody. Sign here again with a new video. And this is about how to mod the Long Dark. So this is the website I use, which is uh, Xpazeman's website, I guess, which they are a mod author as well. And they put together this wonderful website that basically shows you how to install the mods. It's a repository to where you can actually find different mods and so on and so forth. And very well done. I like this site actually. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, you go to this website here, and which the link will be in the description, and it'll bring you to this page here. And this just shows you, we have 142 mods to choose from here. You can sort by name, by update, by author, and let's see. As of recording, these are the most recently updated mods. Now, how do we do this? Well, first thing is, like, say, if you want to do the alcohol mod, right? There are some food mods that add in different alcohols, and like one of the ones pops into my head first is the Killer Greases food mod. So if we just search up food, we have Food Pack by TKG, the Killer Grease, and Kaiser username. And when was this one updated? Oh, just a few days ago, actually. Cool. There's also foods by Calorie Waltz. By Waltz. Waltz is a very prolific modder as well. Same with Killer Grease. They both do quite a bit of things. But I know for certain that there is a bottle of vodka and whatnot from TKG's. So this will let you, basically it gives you debuffs whatnot when you drink. Without this, all alcoholic food functions as if it was non-alcoholic. So, bit of a given. What you do is you just click on details, or you can click download. If you click download, it brings up the same little pop-up here. And if you just hit download, it'll open a new link or a new page, tab, what do you want to call it, and it'll automatically download for you. You can go to the source and readme, which will take you to the mod's GitHub page. Shows you more information about the mod, so on and so forth. All the different releases, so on, everything you need. You can show support. In this case, there's a PayPal link for VA Studio. Not all mods have that, but it is. And then dependencies, this is the important part. These are the mods that are required to get this to work. So it'll list it here and then here, and if you click here, it'll actually, boom, download it for you automatically, which is great. Now, let's say you found some mods you want to install, right? They're pretty easy. You just drop them into the relevant folder. Now, how to install? Well, that is here. How to install mods. Pretty basic. It says mods are only compatible with Steam and GOG versions of the game. There's a caveat here. I play with Epic. I actually have it on the Epic launcher. It's because like a couple years ago, whatever, Long Dark was free. So I picked it up that way to check it out, so on and so forth. And then I forgot I had it. That's why it took me so long to start playing it. There is a way to play with Epic. There's actually two ways. This is currently not working now, but this is a plugin to use MelonLoader, which is the mod loader is MelonLoader. And yeah, disable DLC and run mute even if you own them. See, this is not ideal, but that's because of how Epic's anti-cheat software works. There's how I do it, which is I never installed Epic Online Services. It nags me every time I open up Epic, which we can just do here. Well, not every time I open it, but yeah, here's a wonderful Epic Games launcher. I never installed the Epic Online Services, which is their anti-cheat thing or whatever. And if you don't have Epic Online Services installed, you can freely mod the Long Dark without any problems. right? Currently, it's December, 14th when I'm recording this, just before the 15th. Yeah, here's the different ads. The free game is Destiny 2 right now. Whatever. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah, actually, I don't even see a thing here for it. But yeah, just don't install Epic Online Services. You're fine. Or if you haven't installed, just get rid of it. And yeah, it's a nuisance. It doesn't really do a whole lot anyway. And it's just something else running on your computer you don't really need to have running. So, haven't turned it off. Turn these off first. Share crash reports and analytics. Let's not bug Hingeland with issues unless you're certain it's their fault. Make sure to back up your saves before modding. I've not had any issues with mods. Well, kinda. It's when the base game updates before the mods get a chance to catch up. Then things can happen, but it's never broken a save for me. But yeah, back up your saves. It's always a good idea anyway. You can find your saves, C drive or wherever Windows is installed, I should say, right? But you're a Windows user, app data, local, hinterland, long dark, right? And you just copy it into a separate folder, and that way, if you need to roll back or anything, you can without a problem. Make sure you have the requirements installed. So we need C++ 2015 to 2019 and .NET 6.0. Not a problem. So we're going to you need to download the installer from MelonLoader. This thing is really easy to do as well. Okay, and boom, we just downloaded it. So what you do is you just open melonloader.installer.exe. There we go. And it works. This is the mod loader for basically Unity games. Anything made in Unity, if there's mods, this is your go-to. And you just select your game, and it remembered where I was, or where my long dark game is from before. So you just select tld.exe, wherever that's at. If you're doing on like Steam or Epic both, you can just right click on the game and tell it to, or ask it to browse local files is basically it. And it'll show you exactly where this is. And we can reinstall, we can uninstall because I've already got it installed. You can choose the version. I wouldn't bother with this, just do 6.1. It's the most common one, or it's not the common one, it's the latest one. And boom, latest. Auto detect the game architecture, 64-bit. There are 32-bit, but long dark is 64, so you can do the manual zips if you want. And then here's your settings. You can do your theme, light theme, dark theme, close after completion, remember last selected game, which is what I had to do. And just basically you'll hit the install button and it'll take care of everything for you. And then after that, it'll add in, here we go. Here's my long dark file or a folder. Here's the executable there. It'll add in a few things. The main thing you're looking for is this mods folder. This is where your mods will go. So after you've downloaded them, then you'll just drop them into here and you're done. I mean, that's pretty basic. This is the mods that I usually use for my 500-day playthrough. And it's a bunch of little things. All right, now we're going to, now we've got this installed. I'm going to go over some of the mods that I use, right? And one of them is ambient lights. This is great. It actually makes it brighter. So you don't need a light source during midday to move around. More reflective of what's happening outside, time of day, weather, and sun position. This is great if you're making videos because it actually makes it bright enough to see, especially on YouTube. I mean, I can fumble around in the dark all I want. That does not make for good videos. This is a plugin. You love how they use some of these, yeah. Auto updating plugin. I also use this one as well. Plugins are a little different than mods. They don't go in your mods folder. They go here in your plugins folder. Now, I have this mod or this plugin. I renamed it to .disabled because I don't need it. So I'll just go ahead and get rid of it actually. But yeah, the auto updating plugin. And what this does is whenever you fire up the long dark, it'll check the mods that it has listed. Oop, dang it. Did not mean to do that. Okay, let's not do that. Reset filters. There we go. It's kind of an odd search function. It's not the only thing. It'll go through a list of a couple hundred mods. More mods that are actually here, and check for updates. Now, not every mod, though, is able to be updated by this, which is unfortunate. One of the bigger groups of mods is Jods's mods. Jods is. For whatever reason, their mods are not auto-updatable. I'm not sure why. Let's see. Another one I use, not for my series, but it's a lot of fun, is Better Bases. This one, most furniture can be moved. You can get rid of all the debris laying around, so on and so forth. The downside of this is it drastically increases the load times of each area. Like Carter Hydroelectric Dam, each section of the dam, because there's so much stuff in the dam you can do now, it takes over a full minute. So yeah, it's not great. It's not horrible, but this would be good for like streaming or whatever. Not so good for videos. But yeah, I mean, and every time you go in or out, yeah, a full flipping minute each. Well, leaving is not so bad, but every time you go in, yeah, it's a bit harsh. Bountiful foraging. This one is awesome. It adds in a whole bunch of stuff. You can get dead orcas. You can get birds' nests. Beehives is another thing. And there are two versions, with or without the DLC, meaning Tales from the Far Territory. Camping tools is also by Jods. This one adds in different tents you can make. You can upgrade your bedroll into a tent, which is freaking wonderful. Although it will kill you if you're not careful. There are different tier of skill books as well, which is kind of interesting. They only work up to level 3. And there are 6 of them in total. But after you've hit level 3 or higher, you can no longer read these. But they take, I think it's only 3 hours to read instead of 5. So that's pretty handy. There's archery, ice fishing, cooking, fire starting, carcass harvesting, and mending are the 6 books you get. So especially, mending, having more mending books is phenomenal. Carcass Seal Tweaker, I played around with this one before, and if you want to have stupid amounts of meat, this is the mod for you. One point in time, I shot a moose, and I yielded like 600 pounds of, meat. So, yeah. Choose starting conditions. I use this currently in my 500 playthrough. This is how I started with intestinal parasites. Carry weight mod. You can adjust carry weight or set to very high value. There's actually, you can go up to 22,000 pounds, 10,000 kilos. I do this whenever I'm checking out other mods, especially like the food mods, so on and so forth. Whenever I just want to, go through, see where everything is, and see what spawns, where it spawns, how much spawns, so on and so forth. And I just use this mod so I can just pack it all in my pocket and keep an eye on things. And collector cards, these ones are kind of, it's just a little, little thing that's added to the game. You can find these, playing cards, around the world and so on and so forth. There's 12 of them. I think it's like one per zone roughly. But it's just something else to do while you're, surviving. Cozy blankets. This, items you can keep in your inventory that whenever you sleep, it actually will, raise your temperature. And you can find them or make them. Cozy cushions, you can sit. This is a fun little mod here, actually. And, yes, it's just a little more immersive. And there are some buffs you can turn on. I usually don't have them turned on. I just like the fact that I can, sit on things. Because it makes sense while you're, ice fishing or reading or crafting or what have you. And you're sitting down. You're not just going to stand up the whole time. Crafting revisions. This one enables custom blueprint and recipes. This is one of the more important mods you're going to have. And thing I like about it is you can control how much how many slots you scroll whenever you're in the crafting menu, right? I have it set to 1, so each time I use the mouse wheel, it moves by 1 instead of moving by like chunks of recipes. Makes it a lot easier to kind of keep track of where you're at and not miss things. Crafting hotkey doesn't work. Did use it in the past. This is actually now rolled into, I think it's what, QL, Quality of Life or whatever. I forget which mod that is. DOA by Santana. Lets you make furniture and stuff, which is cool. I mean, everything you see in this picture, except for the campfire, is stuff you can craft, right? Well, there's the 2 bedrolls, obviously, but there's this carpet, rug here, table, shelves. There's chairs. I mean, quite a few things, actually. Very handy. If you want to, like, really trick out your base nicely, this is the mod for you. If you combine this with better bases, you can completely renovate any building, which is kind of fun. Darker Nights, like the idea, never going to use it. Make the nights darker, giving it a challenge. I mean, it makes it, yeah, extremely dark, but it's not going to be good for video, so I'm not going to touch it. Dynamic trees, kind of a cool idea. Also another Jodsits mod. You know, as it snows, there's more snow on the trees. Eternal weather, good for challenge runs. And you can just pick a weather and it just have it stay there. This first started out as eternal blizzards, and then they changed it till, you know, it'd be any weather. Enable feat progress in custom mode. Not a bad mod. I mean, if you only play in custom modes and you want to get progress towards your feats, this is the way to do it. Examine actions, API, this is a core mod, so you're probably going to need this if you're using other mods. Extra graphic settings, I use this one as well. And dramatic aberration, status bar percentages, free look in cars, and weapon crosshair. These are the mods it takes over, but those are things it does plus more. If you want to fine tweak your settings a little bit more, this is a good mod for that. Faster harvesting, never used it. Faster searching, I do use this one. This is why I've got it turned down to 20%. This only takes 20% of the time it usually would. And it's just one of those things that makes it easier for video, where I can just go through and I can just right through like a file cabinet or so on and so forth without taking 30 seconds. Fire Pack, this is a mod I've used as well. Actually, I'm currently using it. This adds in things like a bow drill, which is kind of fun, and an ember can, which I've never really used. The ember can, you can take embers from a campfire and move them to another campfire to start a fire with. The bow drill is a 100% renewable way to start fires, which the game desperately needs, because it just makes sense. I mean, it's, not quite rubbing 2 sticks together, but it's basically, that's what it is. Food pack, we kind of looked at this one before. I played around with this one. It's a lot of food. Holy crap, there's a lot of food, especially when you add in like foods by calorie walls on top of that. Forge blueprints, make different things at the forges. I've kind of was doing a challenge run with this where you have to make everything before you can use it. This adds in, like a cooking pot, pry bar, the hammer. You can craft all of those things at the forge. Let's see, Fort Blackrock. That one I've not played with that one yet. I kind of want to try it out sometime. Basically, clearing out the rubble from Blackrock so you can make it into a better base. Full swing. I've used this one before as well. Modify the swing speed and radius of fridge doors so they open up all the freaking way instead of just that tiny little crack. That's the most annoying thing. Gear decay modifier. If you don't think your stuff's spoiling quick enough, you can crank the rate up. Gear spawner. This is a core mod so that custom modded items can actually be spawned in. Halloween. I actually didn't see this until after Halloween had passed. Otherwise, I would have done something with this. House lights. Kind of cheesy, but you can turn the lights on in houses. How to read. I've never touched this one yet. I just think the promise of it is pretty funny. This mod shouldn't be installed. If you're reading this, then you passed the test. Improved afflictions makes afflictions even worse. Improved loading screen. So I do use this. It gives like little tooltips and stuff. Custom tooltips on the loading screens and so on and so forth. And different images as well, which is kind of cool. Add more save slots, in case you have more than 25 save games. I haven't hit that point yet, so I haven't worried about that mod. Indoor campfires, not a bad idea, really. Infinite fires, yeah, it's a little cheesy, but those fires to infinite duration. Interior wall decorations, you can get the posters and stuff you see around the map anywhere. Interloper region selection. Honestly, kind of a moot point on this one, because you just start a custom game with interloper settings if that's what you want. Item piles adds blueprints for stacked items, so you can just get a stack of sticks instead of having to drop them all individually. Item rarities just basically adds flavor text to it. Item picker, I use this mod sometimes, not in my current 500 days. I'm thinking about adding it though. Skip item inspection on picking up sticks and stones. And you can mass pick up all sticks or stones or other items raised around you with or without calorie cost. There's a jump mod. Not a bad idea, but kind of might break things. Keyboard utilities. This is another one of the core mods. It's not updated, but it is still working just fine. Kerosene lamp tweaks. You can change the colors of your lanterns and so on and so forth, which is cool. This is the mod I use to make it so that lanterns that are set down in the world do not burn fuel. That way I can just light up one of my bases or whatever and not have to worry about it. Let's see, localization utilities. This is another core mod. You're going to need this for several other mods. Lonely Orca. Yeah, Lonely Orca is living in Desolation Point. You can occasionally see out in the ocean an orca fin just like come up and then go down. Map Manager, I use this one. Basically, it shows player arrows. That way I can see where I'm at on the map. That way I can show people where I'm at on the map. That's the main thing. Mod data, mod component, and mod settings. These three are the three core mods. You will need these three if you're going to do other mods. Mostly. I mean, depending on the mods you use, but if you're doing any mods that add in, has its own settings, you need mod settings. Mod data, you just need this regardless. And then same with mod component. Lets you load external item packs. So if you are installing a mod that adds items to the game, you're going to need this one. If you're installing mods, you're going to need this one and settings for this one. Just get all three of them. Modder's Gear Toolbox. This is another Jod's It's mod. This is their core mod, basically. Motion tracker. Now, muscle is a good idea. I kind of like the idea behind it. Eat well, move a lot, and properly sleep, and you'll gain muscle, aka more carry capacity. I just right-click by accident. Oh, nope. Go away. Really nice broadcast. Yeah, I have to play this sometime. But watch your favorite movies and series in the long dark during an aurora. Northfolk clothing pack. This is 5 items it looks like here. But it's like wolf boots, deer coat, deer gloves. There's a wolf hat. There's something else I forgot. Let's see, personality. I'm waiting for this one to update again now because the latest update for the long dark gave you gloves, right? Well, the ones from personality look so much better than the ones in the core game. Placing anywhere. So this is the mod I use. You can stack items on top of each other, which is great. Removes restrictions when placing items, it says, which is very, very handy. But this is how I managed to like stack cans on top of each other or build towers of meat or what have you. Just, it makes it for a nicer, cleaner looking anything, base or pit stop or what have you. Quality of life. This is one of the ones I use, and you can use keyboard most of the time to control your game. So WASD to go through menus and so on and so forth. The enter key for, mouse click. It's actually really handy. Random main menu. Just change, what you're looking at. You don't see me use this mod because you never see me in the main menu of the game. Reduce loot. You can actually, reduce how many items you actually can find, which is not a bad idea. Let's see, Relentless Night. The nights get longer and longer until eventually the sun never comes up. Retro Food Pack. Played around with this one. This is also the Killer Grease, and it has a lot of food. You need unlimited carry capacity whenever you summit Timberwolf with this mod installed. I swear, there's so much stuff. Shorter reading intervals. This one should definitely be in the game. I love this mod. Decreases minimum interval to read books and remembers progress whenever reading is canceled. Just like with crafting, right? If you're crafting something and it becomes too dark, then it stops you, but it remembers how far you progressed. If you are reading an hour in a book and you hit 59 minutes into this book, right, and then it becomes too dark or you get hungry or what have you, it resets all your progress, which I hate. So this fixes that, which is awesome. Skimp intro, I use this one. Gets rid of the disclaimers where you have to click, to go through while you're loading the game. This one is nice because I can just start the game up and I go get like a cup of coffee or what have you. And by the time I'm, back with my tea or whatever, the game's ready to go. You don't have to actually sit there and click through it. Actual solitaire. Waste your time in style. Play solitaire. Sprankle redoes how sprains work. Stretch Armstrong, modify your interaction distance. Survivor's Legacy, which is kind of an interesting thing. I don't die often enough to bother with this mod is the thing. But I'm thinking about installing it just so that if other people die, I can find their bodies. What this does is whenever you die, you can leave a note and it'll send your body to somebody else's save game. And I think one or two items. I think it's just random was what items are sent anyway. Save tools, managing save games. External tool, not a mod. This is basically for doing backups and so on and so forth. Cigarettes, morphine. Both of those from the Killer Grease. Target practice. You can actually shoot targets and get skill levels. And let's see, long development. I have no idea. Small team project, collaborative, okay. I'll have to check that out, actually. I completely spaced that one. Wolfskin Scarf. Things to do. Yes, this is a mod I actually use. And some of the things you can do. You can empty lanterns, which is awesome. You can eat multiple cattails at once. You can carve off chunks of meat. Yeah, here we go. Paper from books. Brute force sharpening. Spend hours to really sharpen tools without a whetstone. Slice meat. Cut a small piece from meat. Prep acorns. You can prep up to 4 acorns at a time instead of having to do one by one and then craft them together. Unload storm lanterns. You can do field repairs. Quick restore clothing to 20% condition with gut and cloth. So in an emergency, you can repair your stuff. Hammer cans into scrap metal. And let's see. Yeah, and the item pile compat and then bountiful fortune compat. Very, very handy. Extended field of view. Okay, and then we get to the tiny tweak stuff here. Buried corpses. So the tiny tweaks are all by Waltz. Waltz is awesome. Right click on a corpse to bury it. Map text outline makes it a little easier to read your flippin' map, which is amazing for video. Extended field of view I don't use, but yeah, you can, give yourself, Quake view or what do you want to call it. God, Quake, that was such a long time ago. Correct drop orientation. Fix dropped wooden matches so that the label is up on the matches. Because yes, they were incorrect. Pause on radial. I use this one. This actually makes a lot of sense. When you open up your radial, it slows down time dramatically. Run with lanterns, another one to use. Removes restrictions on lantern animation, allows movement, and removes camera lock. Freaking awesome. Love it. Plants Rego. I mean, if you're going for like a super long run or something like that, Plants Rego up for 45 days. You can change it to any time you want, though. And then that's pretty much it for the tiny tweaks, looks like, yeah. Unlimited rock caches. Not a bad idea. This is added to, I believe, also Universal Tweaks, which is a mod I use. And let's see. There we go. Main reason I use universal tweaks, it gets rid of the breath effect. Let's see. You can do constant crosshair. Headache-free pies is the other one I use because it's just constantly annoying. And why the hell does a peach pie give you a headache? Seriously. No idea. Allows movement while aiming with a revolver. I use that one as well, which is great. You can use this to set it so that toilet water is non-potable. There's a bunch of tweaks for the flashlight, rock cache, spray paint, glowing decals feature. I actually turned this on because it's kind of interesting. It's a freaking day-glow spray paint. There's travois tweaks as well, and then you can reset snares from the inspect menu after the rabbit is captured. You can just click and it'll reset it instead of having to pick it up, put it in your inventory, go back to your inventory, pull it out, you know, that whole 9 yards. Fire sprite fix. Yeah, realigns it. Improve radial menu, spray paint can snare grayed out. If no can is found in the inventory. If you don't have it, you don't have it. We'll see wolves come out at night. Weight tweaks. Wooden statues by the Killer Grease. And then working clocks. See, the clocks actually work. Which is kind of a thing. So that's all the mods here, including the mods that I usually use. And, well, I hope this video was, informative. Like I said, the links will be in the description. And everything you need to know is right here. How to install mods. And, yeah. And there's even, an FAQ in here. So, if you are running on Epic, get rid of Epic Online Services. You don't need it, and it'll actually just interfere with your modding experience. It will not work at all. But thank you for coming out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful. And until the next one, signing out, have fun.